Good morning. Welcome to another episode of Zealandism. I'm your host, Zealandism. That's actually my last name. You know, that's how we decided to come up with the title for this channel. Believe whatever you want, man. It's a free world. Today, we're talking about one of the topics that seems to be a huge recurring theme in the entire world of football. Sorry, I need to stop. That's like the most this is the most formal introduction I've ever done to one of these videos, and it's making me incredibly uncomfortable. We need to talk about something stupid like the fact that I didn't order my Amazon, like my marathon training supplies quick enough off Amazon, and so now I have to wait an extra day to do my training run, which you guys will obviously take as me just procrastinating from my training in the first place for the marathon, because it's all a myth and I've never actually run, and I'm just I'm gonna try and crawl across the finish line or something. We'll see how it goes. You know, it's all, but yeah, Amazon's not delivering fast enough. So if they could get those minimum wage workers to hustle it up a bit, or maybe pay them more, that might solve the problem. But anyways, you didn't expect this Zealandism to turn into a unionized Amazon sort of. Hey, did that ever happen? I don't know. I need to listen to more news podcasts and stop reading about different things in the football world. But since I'm reading about different things in the football world, let's talk about one of them. Then I was saying earlier, it's a recurring theme here and in the rest of the world of football, talking about how professional footballers really don't get a lot of a break, right? It's a very intense job. It's incredibly mentally and physically draining, right? I will give them that. Right? And they get basically no time off, right? Which is why the last time I feel like I talked about this was around Rodri, and then you've got Cole Palmer taking a break because of fatigue in September, like turning down an England call-up because of fatigue. Well, when are you going to find a break if you're somebody like Kylian Mbappe, for example? Kylian Mbappe had a muscle injury, which is, of course, something that is usage-related. Early in the season, he came back earlier than expected for Real Madrid. He came back actually to play against French farmers in Lille, but they ended up losing anyways, so that was a bit of egg on the face. And he turned down the call-up to play for France in the Nations League. And let's be really, really honest with ourselves. It's Israel and Belgium, right? Like, France should be able to handle that slate without disaster striking, without Kylian Mbappe, right? And they did. They did. To beat Israel, right, without Kylian Mbappe, because Kylian Mbappe didn't, accept the call-up or whatever. He wasn't fully fit to accept the call-up. But the controversy is not that he didn't accept the call-up, right? Well, that would be the same thing as Cole Palmer not accepting the call-up. And this happens a lot of the time, particularly in the Nations League, particularly in the September, October, November international windows that go back to back to back, and the people that have international duty that they have to partake in at that time. A lot of those people end up sitting out at least one of those three just to try and recover. If it's Africa Cup of Nations qualifying, right, Mo Salah doesn't need to be there for your game against the Republic of the Congo, right? If it's Nations League, France is probably going to be able to win their Nations League group without Kylian Mbappe being the guy that's out there. I have zero issue with him deciding not to go. And I think that anybody that is suggesting that he is not patriotic or doesn't love playing for France clearly hasn't watched this guy absolutely obliterate consecutive World Cups in the name of France, right? Rolling it back to the 1700s like he's Louis the 14th and a half, just destroying the rest of Europe and the rest of the world constantly. That's what Kylian Mbappe does when he wears a France uniform. But people are not just upset that he didn't show up, right? The upset comes because there were basically reports coming out of, I think it was Sweden. Let me make sure on this. A nightclub, he was spotted in a nightclub in Stockholm as his compatriots romped to a 4-1 win on Thursday. And what that does is that takes the criticism behind the scenes of Kylian Mbappe not accepting his France call-up or not going to France or saying he's not fit enough or whatever combination of those things happened, and it amplifies it. Because now we have visible confirmation that Kylian Mbappe is being a human being, a famous, wealthy, young human being. Kylian Mbappe is younger than me. He's worth hundreds of millions of dollars. He is one of the most famous athletes on the planet. What the hell did you think he was going to be doing with his time off? Right? He gets a week. Right, the international break hits. He's not fit enough. He's still recovering a bit from that muscle injury. He doesn't want to make it worse, and this is the type of window that he would be able to skip. Right, he needs a bit of a break. He needs a little R&R. And some part of that break mentally is hanging out with your dudes. And for me, hanging out with the dudes is I'm going to go to the bar down the street, eat some wings, watch some football. Either kind works for me, right? For Kylian Mbappe, apparently it's flying to Sweden to hang out with the dudes because, wealthy, famous, young athlete. And you go out to a club. I mean, Cole Palmer, I don't know what Cole Palmer did when he didn't go to the England international window. Okay. Knowing Cole Palmer, he probably just, he either grinded Ultimate Team or just watched paint dry. I don't know, but he might have gone to a club. Maybe he at least went to a pub. Sure as hell, Jack Grealish, when he wasn't at the Euros, right? He hadn't been called up or whatever. He misses another call up or he gets a week off or something. That man is having a drink. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? Because Jack Grealish keeps himself fit. He's a friggin' professional athlete. So who am I to lecture him on his ability to take care of himself? Same to Kylian Mbappe, by the way. But what else? What did we think that Kylian Mbappe was going to be doing? I don't understand why this amplified this and everybody on the French team was getting asked. Didier Deschamps, ESPN in this particular article quotes the response of Ibrahima Konate, which I think is brilliant, by the way, because we already knew Kylian Mbappe wasn't on international duty. It's not like he has to sit in the stand, take the week. You will reap the benefits later on. Did you ever watch Last Dance? The basketball documentary about Michael Jordan. There's a player in that called Dennis Rodman, right? And Dennis Rodman, they would give him a vacation every once in a while, and they would reap the benefits. He would come back refreshed if hungover, right? And you're going to get the same thing out of Kylian Mbappe here. It's ridiculous, but can you imagine you go out with your friends, right? And you going out with your friends is all of a sudden all the French media is talking about the next day. Living in a world where that's actually a reality. It's no wonder these people try to be incredibly secretive about what they're doing because everything that they're doing is scrutinized to such an unbelievably ridiculous level. I don't go to the bar on a Saturday and then all of a sudden I wake up Sunday and people are asking all of my friends in the street about me going to the bar the night before and whether they think that was the right thing to do. Why did I order the honey barbecue wings instead of the medium? I don't know. I was feeling honey barbecue that day. Why did I go to the bar? I wanted to hang out with my friends and blow off a little steam. It wasn't Konate, it was actually Wesley Fofana, but his quote was great. People can do what they want with their free time. He does what he wants. He's a great guy and a great professional. Are we making too much of it? I don't know. Let me answer that for you. We are. He's the best French player, so it's normal that it's very publicized. I think from time to time, the media go a little too far. You should ask Kylian Mbappe for more information. I don't like that last bit because, obviously they're already going to be trying to ask Kylian Mbappe for more information. But this is just so incredibly stupid. Guendouzi was also asked about it. Again, following the trend of everybody being asked about Kylian Mbappe being cited at a nightclub. We have no doubts about Kylian. There's no question about his passion for his country. He loves his country. He will continue to help us. We must stop talking about it too much. He has days off. He can do what he wants. Yeah. That's the point of days off. Depending on what country you're in, you get a certain number of days off, maybe paid, maybe unpaid, right? If you're a YouTuber, then every once in a while, you just take a day where you don't even open your phone and look at Twitter or Instagram or anything. You don't record Zealandisms, although I basically do these every day anyways, right? But you take a day off. You sit there, you put your feet up, you recalibrate, you reorient, and you're not in the public eye. And Kylian Mbappe is going to take a lesson from a lot of other professional athletes that will make everybody in whatever nightclub they go to sign NDAs so that they can go out and have a good time without having to deal with these types of stories. Because this is really the only time that Kylian Mbappe is going to get off until the end of the Club World Cup, which is arriving at the end of next summer. I mean, it really is the only time that he's going to be able to take off before that hits, as far as I understand the match schedule. Unless he sits out one more France window, in which case he'll get another week off. But think about how unbelievably exhausting that would be. I know these guys get paid a ridiculous amount of money, but the shit they also have to deal with is ridiculous, right? When you're at the Kylian Mbappe level, the amount that you are asked to play and the amount that you are asked to be in the public eye and just deal with this type of bullshit all the time is crazy. We cannot blame these people for being people. Not everybody is Cristiano Ronaldo or Erling Haaland and just every time they're not on the field, they lock themselves in a cryo chamber, right? And they're just floating there like some dude from Dragon Ball Z waiting to be activated again for their next match. No, most of these guys are just people. And Kylian Mbappe acted like a person with his time off, which is apparently tantamount to treason. So that was fun.